Hi, good morning. I made it.
Good morning, you made it. It's great because I'm going to introduce you to the new students we have. Let me count how many new students. They just started Wednesday. 1, 2, 3. Oops. Somebody's coming in. My guess about 7 average, 5 or 7 students.
Nice.
So it's perfect timing. I'm just waiting because even my internet is slow today. So I'm giving it time. Usually I don't wait except for the first day when I'm waiting for everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lawrence. They're starting to come in. Took me a while too, and then I pulled my computer cord because I was adjusting the camera. I accidentally pulled it, so I had to restart. Anyway, let's give them a few minutes. It's a big class. Morning and nights are big classes. At night, we got 17. And then in the morning, we got 13. Did you do Zoom at 8 today?
Yeah, I just got off at 9:59.
Yeah, perfect. It's our usual Monday motivation presentation. I think everybody's in. Good morning, pharmacy. Happy Monday. Okay. For the benefit of the new students, usually on Monday we try to do it, so it's a regular thing. Good job on those in uniform. Noah, you're not in uniform. Brandon, I couldn't see very well. If you're perfect. Good job. Okay. Yours is very navy blue because of your lighting, probably. Okay. Noah just ran for his uniform. Okay. I require Monday to be a scrubs day, especially for the new students who haven't been at the campus. Monday has been what's decided to be the uniform day. So I can check, they can see if their scrubs fit them. And they're going to the campus on Thursday and on Friday, okay, for this week to finish up this customer service lab. It's only 5 hours. Perfect. I can see. Do your scrubs fit you, freshmen? Yes, perfect. Okay, most of the time they don't because they run small, and then sometimes because of this pandemic we gained a lot of weight, so we got to go back and have them replaced. So it's perfect timing right now for you guys. Yeah, but the rest of you have been going to the campus, so I'm not really worried about that. Good job, Noah. Thank you for that. Happy Monday again. So we're going to do our Monday motivation, okay, today before the presentation, okay? Talking about presentation, your presentation is 100 points. The 50 points is coming from the presentation itself, and the 50 points is coming from the uploading of your slide, okay? It's not one or the other, it's both. So if you uploaded your slide but didn't make it to the presentation, you only get 50 points. If you made it to the presentation but forgot to upload your slide, it's going to be 50 points. It's a combination of both, okay? So 100 points, okay? We do our usual Monday motivation and how are you? How was your weekend thing? I always say that these are the 3 most powerful words right now. How are you? Okay, and when we ask, don't ask how are you and then walk away. Stop, pause, and listen to what that person you ask say. Maybe you may be their lifeline that day or for the longest time. Okay, sometimes people just need to talk to somebody, okay, and they don't always have that somebody to talk to. So just even a stranger you passing by, okay, this was a note to self for me, especially during this pandemic, because you know we're all guilty of that, like in the hallway, hi, how are you, and then you walk away, right? That's very common. Okay, now I really wanted to mean it, especially during this pandemic, like what I said, and I keep talking about this. Okay, so on Monday, since it's presentation day, I made it a point to ask, how are you? And give us the Monday motivation that we need so that we can start the week right before the actual presentation. Okay, some of you, I've known the pattern over the weekend, like wants to go out, try out new restaurants, and go to a soccer game of her brother and stuff like that. So it's really nice to hear that. Anyway, before we move on, I'd like to introduce Miss Jaylene Fernandez. Miss Jaylene Fernandez is the lead instructor for our San Marcos for the pharmacy technician program in our San Marcos campus. However, she is leaving the campus and she will be joining the Las Vegas pharmacy technician team. And I'm so happy to have her. I told you I handpicked my instructors. It'll take me a while, but I really handpicked them so that I can leave you in good hands when I leave, okay? When I'm gone for a while, because when I'm gone at least a month, okay? So Miss Jaylene will be in Vegas on June 16th, but she will start with us on June 20th. Okay, so it's a smooth transition. She's been joining Zoom classes and every now and then she tries to join our lab classes. So anyway, Miss Jaylene, can you introduce yourself real quick? Give us your background so that we have, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new students. Okay.
Hi, yeah, I know. I see a lot of new faces. That's awesome. I love when our class grows. But anyway, yeah, I'm Miss Jaylene or Miss F, Miss Fernandez, whatever you'd like to call me. So let's see, I've been a technician now. Wow, 9 years. It just keeps adding, you know, every year it's like, oh my God, 9 years. Wow, next year will be 10 years. Anyway, 9 years I've been a technician. My main focus and my main experience comes from hospital experience. I went to a school just like you guys, just like Pima, and I got hired 2 weeks after I graduated at the hospital I externed at. So I jumped right in because they saw that I was hardworking. They saw I was able to multitask, and they saw my drive to be in the pharmacy. So anyway, I started my career in Hawaii and then I moved here. I'm in San Diego now. I've been here in San Diego for 3 years. I started off with Pima in 2018 as a substitute teacher, and I love it. I love being here. In 2019, the lead instructor position opened, so I hurried up and I applied before anyone else could. And then, yeah, I got it. But I've been teaching, you know, ever since 2018, and I really feel like this is where my career has meant to be. You know, some people like to teach, some people don't, some people like to be hands-on, but I'm just so happy that I'm able to use my experience being in the field with something I've always wanted to do, which was teaching. I actually wanted to be an elementary school teacher my whole life, but this is exactly where I want to be. I don't have to talk to anyone's parents. I don't have to put you in timeout, but I can fail you. But anyway, I love being a teacher. I love being an instructor. And, you know, maybe in the future, I need to, you know, keep my game up. So I'll probably get back into the pharmacy sometime in the future, but not right away. I love being a teacher. And that's always nice to have. And I know there's always new things in the pharmacy. So I got to keep my mind sharp too. But anyway, I'm so excited to move to Las Vegas. I have a countdown on my phone, actually. I put a widget, you know, on my phone. Let me see. 32 more days.
Love it.
32 more days. And I'm in Vegas. Yeah. Anyway, that's me. I'm excited to, you know, get to see you guys. And then we're going to campus soon, right? So no more Zooming soon.
August 4th for the morning, September 15th for the night.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, thank you, Miss Jaylene. Didn't I tell you that we have about a combination of 50 years of experience altogether?
Wow.
Whenever there's an opening for instructor, I always reach out to graduates first. Okay, why would I not hire graduates? They're so used to how Pima is. Okay, Ms. Trisha is a graduate of the program. You only need 3 years experience in the field. Okay, must have gone to an accredited school like Pima for you to be able to teach. So I reached out to graduates when I was looking for somebody to hire. But Miss Jaylene, I didn't know that she was moving. No one even told me. I was just checking all the resumes. And I said, this is an instructor from the San Marcos campus. She didn't even email me. She went through the right process, applied online and this, but I checked every single resume. So, and why would I not hire her? Pima loves to hire from within, to promote from within. And this is just a chance for really, she's been doing this the entire, 2 years? Running on 3 years now. So she's used to it. She's used to Blackboard. She's used to, maybe she's not used to the Vegas way and how Miss L is, but that's what she's trying to do. That's why she's joining our Zoom classes so that she can get accustomed to how Miss L runs the program. Okay. So any question, even if it's a uniform curriculum, each program runs differently. I told you, right? I always try to get ahead of the game. I've been taking my students to flu clinics before it was even required. Okay, so that's how I do it. And it's a lot of networking for me, a lot of twisting friends' arms sometimes, having guests and all this for us to have flu clinics in the campus for 5 consecutive years and students just helping out, even if at that time you aren't really allowed to give flu shots, but I let them know the process by having them, okay, you hand this form to them, okay, make sure you know what's in the form. So you're always 2 steps ahead of the game, okay? So welcome, Ms. Jaylene. I can't wait to have you. I can't wait to take off too. I've been hanging in there for you. I'm really waiting, okay? I haven't had a time off in a long time. But anyway, so how are you? Let's start off with our seniors. Robert, I like when you pull your hair back. I can see your beautiful face instead of it on your face, okay? How are you? How was your weekend?
It was great. I didn't really do much. I just, stayed at home again.
You stayed at home? I guess you don't want the hairband I was going to give you, so you just pulled your hair back, huh? Okay. He stayed mostly at home. No, what was that? Neighbor shopping this weekend? No bookshelf shopping. Okay. Tony, how have you been? How are you? How was your weekend?
My weekend pretty much was about the same as Robert, just home.
Yeah, still home. Yeah, trying to be careful. Our
Yeah.
governor lifted the mask policy. So I'm not really very happy about that because it's an honesty policy for those who are vaccinated. And when you go out, you think, are you really serious? Everybody's vaccinated? Yeah. And the ones wearing masks are people like me who are vaccinated. Yeah. So that's what's going on. I have a friend in Arizona. It's the same for them. Like 90% of people at stores don't have masks anymore. Okay. And are like in Georgia, I have another friend in Georgia. Their numbers are low, but you'll be surprised, she said, to go outside and there's almost 90% unmasked. But you will see the stats of vaccinated people in Georgia, they're still very low. Okay, so I'm not very happy with that, but expect that if you haven't been out. Okay, so I still wear my mask on. I don't know if any of you guys are anti-masks. I don't know what we call them, but I, for one, you see me when I'm in the campus, I wear a mask still. Okay, though at the beginning, the rule is you can be in a room if you're both vaccinated without a mask on. Yeah, I still didn't follow that rule. I wore my mask. Okay, I still am going to continue to wear my mask until everybody is not everybody, but 50 to 80% is vaccinated. We have that herd immunity. Okay. Kevin, how was your weekend? Where'd you eat this time?
Good morning, ma'am. So what was it? Saturday, I went to Gen Korean barbecue over here on Sahara and Decatur. That used to be like my go-to spot until my sister introduced me to Master Kim's. And yeah, I just went with some friends and yeah, just ate a lot and I pretty much just rested the rest of the day after eating. And then yesterday I had to go work out at the gym because of all the food. So, but it was
Guilty.
delicious. Yeah, I felt guilty. Yeah, I felt heavy too.
My friend was saying the same thing. We were like imprisoned for a long time. On our
Yeah.
day off, we're looking for a new place to eat. And then you're gonna eat, we call it grass when we order a salad. We're gonna eat grass, but then we're gonna order a big dessert because it felt good that we ate grass. Anyway, so good for you. Nothing
How
new.
was your weekend?
It was good. Just mostly organizing, cleaning up stuff. There was power failure for us for an hour. I don't know if it's just my zip code, but that was the longest power failure I've experienced. So it was crazy because I was thinking, oh my God, I don't eat cold food. I don't like cold food. So microwave instead, right? So I told my son, let's go, let's get some canes because I was craving canes. So I got to the garage. I couldn't open the garage door. Yeah. So I said, how do I get out? I texted my friends, how do I get out? Pull that red string. The emergency. You see how Michelle like not so used to all of this. The emergency. So I pulled it. I'm not strong enough. I couldn't pull it. And they're like, oh my God, how do we help you? I said, I don't know. So the power came back on. And I said, my garage door is still not opening. You disengaged the garage because you pulled the emergency string. How do I engage it again? How do I get out? I was just like, because I wanted to go out and get food, but I feel stuck. So I was like having a panic attack. I was texting my YouTube. So I YouTube how to engage the garage door again. And I said, oh my God, this is so terrible. And my son looked at me like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. Mom, are you okay? And I had to use this, I'm not very tall. I'm actually short. I had to use a chair to get to it. And then I found out that, okay, in case you don't know, to engage it again, you have to pull it at a 90-degree angle. It didn't seem like something happened, but I tried it and it opened. So I was like, yes, free again. So I went to race to Cane's and the line was double line all the way around. So I was thinking maybe everybody was thinking the same thing because the power failure was 3,500 something residents affected when I checked the site. So anyway, I got my chicken fingers and I was happy and, and that was the start. Nothing special. I just thought, oh my God, there's no microwave. There's food in the fridge, but there's no microwave. So it's just crazy. But that's how kind of boring, but kind of exciting because I felt like I'm not strong enough to even pull that emergency. And I don't have a keypad. I don't know if a keypad will open my door, my garage door. Will it open if there's power failure? Not even.
I don't think so.
Okay. Yes, so because I was paranoid, I had to bring my house key just in case we get locked out outside. But anyway, so that was my weekend. Let's go to the freshmen first. I told you my sophomores and my juniors, though we don't have seniors, are usually my middle children, okay? I do favorites, the seniors and the freshmen most of the time, okay? And then later on, it'll be your turn. So everybody gets to be my favorite. Okay, let's go. Paulo, how was your weekend? How are you?
Doing all right. My weekend was pretty busy. I had to work.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm like the closer every day. So 5
Oh.
to 1 in the morning, 5 to 2 in the morning sometimes. But
What? At Wingstop? That long?
yeah, we do DoorDash till 2 in the morning sometimes. So
Oh, that's why.
wait, yeah.
That's why.
Besides that, though, nothing really too crazy.
It's
Just
just work.
work in school, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. So I don't know how you could study if you work that much, but it's so funny how when people lost their jobs, they're like cursing and so mad that they don't have jobs. Now that they're overworking us, it's like we're so mad again because we got so much work. Yeah, we're never really gonna be happy. That's why I always say be careful what we wish for. Okay. Noah, how was your weekend? How are you?
My weekend was pretty long. Just work. That's about it.
You work too. I forgot where you work. Did you mention where you work?
Yeah, I work at my daddy owns an automotive shop, and I work there.
Now I know where to take my car. Huh? You do body work?
No, but I have a couple guys that do.
Oh yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
like dings and dents?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. How was your weekend, Rami? How are you?
I'm well. My weekend was pretty good. My dad went to Atlanta and he also got vaccinated like last month or so, but he also wears his mask too. So I had the apartment to myself and I was just doing work and whatnot.
Okay. I saw your undershirt, it's black. Let me clarify this, okay? Because students have been confused. When they made an announcement about uniform, the black and the navy blue undershirts are only for vet students.
Oh,
They get dirty with the animals, okay? But for everybody else, it has to be white, okay? So know
okay.
that. Yeah, there were students who came in my class one time, they're wearing navy blue and black. And of course, Mr. Jackson doesn't know who's who, like what program you're going to be in. And I wanted to clarify that because my students were mad. They said, oh, we can wear navy blue and black. I said, let me verify that. And I did. So it's white for everybody else except for vet. Vet students are allowed to wear navy blue and black undershirts. Okay.
Can
So
it be like a different color? Like what if I have a blue undershirt?
white.
Oh, it has to be white?
White only for us. White. That's it. Navy
Okay.
blue and black are for vets only. Even the shoes, white only for us, predominantly white. The black shoes are for vets, vet student.
Oh.
Okay, because they get dirty with the animals. Okay, so everybody else wear white. It's the same for you, Miss Jaylene, in the San Marcos campus. No.
No, students can wear white or black shoes.
Mm.
And then they can wear whatever, they could just wear a solid color underneath. So it can be like pink, but
Yeah,
just no designs.
Okay, so that's another thing. That's like
Yeah,
a
I'm
biggest.
learning too. Don't worry, Rami.
Yeah, she's learning to. That's a Vegas requirement because she needs to look into this too. Okay, and then in our Colorado campus, they're allowed to wear winter shoes because they get snow. I don't want to see you in winter shoes or winter boots. Yeah, when that time comes, even our jackets are white. Okay, well, but it's summertime, so I don't expect a lot of students to be wearing, except for those tatted, huh? Like Brandon is tatted all the way here. We can't do anything about the fingers. Okay, if it's neck, I had to have students wear turtleneck, even on summertime. If you have tats on your neck. Okay, so that's just how it is. And then if it's just one arm, like Kevin, yeah, it's getting hot. I told him to just get a sleeve, a white sleeve. Those sports sleeves, that's fine.
Okay.
But it has to be covered. Tats have to be covered. Okay.
Okay.
So that's that. Let's see, more freshmen. Sherlyn, how are you and how was your weekend?
I'm doing good. My weekend was good. My grandparents are actually in town from Hawaii.
Oh,
So we've just been having dinner every night, spending time.
yeah. Did you guys take her to casino? Usually when like when family get
Oh yeah.
right away to a casino, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's nice. It's funny how us locals, even if you just have been here 3 years or whatnot, you can call yourself locals. We don't want to go to this trip. The only time we go to this trip is when we have guests, families, and friends, and they don't understand why we don't want to be at this trip, right? Well, I don't know if they're still charging parking. Who works at this trip? Are they charging parking still, or they lifted that? Because I know, Jess, did they charge parking? Did they go back to charging parking fees again?
Yeah, I don't know when it started, but they are for MGM casinos, they're gonna start charging.
Yeah.
But I think for locals, free for like 2 or 3 more months, something like that.
I see. Because I know they lifted it during the pandemic, so we can get tourists. Okay. Brandon, how was your weekend? How are you?
I'm good. Just studied and worked again.
Did the night shift start? Did you go back to the club?
Yeah, first day back in like a little over a year.
Oh, because it's weekend. Yeah. And then what's the next holiday we look forward to? Memorial Day?
I think so.
Yeah, that's our next. We don't have a lot of time off at Pima, just so you know, huh? There's 12, less than 12, I believe so, okay? The next one is Memorial Day, okay? That's gonna be your next to look forward to when it comes to no school, okay? How have you been? Who did I miss? Jess. Oh, Rami, you said your dad went back to Georgia and you're still wearing mask. What about you, Jess? How are you? How have you been?
I'm doing really good. My weekend was actually super fun. We went hiking up in Mount Charleston, and we did like the Fletcher Canyon hike.
Oh,
And it
I've
was
never been to that trail. Okay.
Yeah, that one was actually really fun. I'm glad that we did it again because the first time I did it, we lost the trail. So we ended up not finishing it. But this time we actually finished the entire trail. And there was actually a snake on the trail. So that was kind of scary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was like right by my foot.
Oh my God, did you panic?
I did. Yeah. My wife was just like, there's a snake by your foot. Like, don't move. And I literally just bolted down the freaking hill. So I got scared. Yeah.
Yeah, I love hiking. I love being outdoors. Whenever I get stuck, I don't like that. So I try to run. I try to get out as much as I could. It's getting hotter. So I think our schedules are changing. Those who were running a certain time of the day may have to run very early in the morning. Ms. Jalen, these are the changes that you're going to get accustomed to, or late at night. Okay, we adjust our activities now. I remember at the peak of summer, I don't go grocery shopping. I go grocery shopping about midnight or 2 a.m. so it's not too hot. We sometimes hit 117. Yeah, you can fry egg at the curbside. So those are the things you don't want to look forward to, but it happens. Okay. Aziri, did I lose you? There you go. You just moved on my camera at the bottom. Aziri, how are you? How was your weekend?
It was pretty long. I'm actually really tired. We went out of town on Friday to Sand Hollow in Utah.
Sand Hollow?
Yeah, Sand Hollow.
Wow.
It's like a lake. And we took my grandma and we just went as a family and we came back yesterday, but we got home pretty late.
Yeah, it's tough when you push it till Sunday, but you only have 2 days off or 2 weekends. So as much as you wanted to be back by Sunday, and Sunday is a rest day, if you only started a Saturday, it's really not enough.
Can I just ask like an LOL question? I'm just gonna, little trivia thing.
No, not yet. It's not time. Later when it's done.
It's about depression.
Oh, it's about depression. Okay.
Out of 100 people, about how many are likely to get depression?
Like everybody right now.
No, I mean like just in general.
Right now because it's pandemic.
I was gonna ask another question.
Okay, hurry up.
The answer is 17, but how?
17?
Yeah. How many people are likely to get depression? How many people out of 100 are likely to get depression in 2021?
Everybody?
100.
Okay.
Exactly.
Got it. Yeah, I thought you were asking right now. See, that's what gets you when you read too much. Or sorry about that. Anyway, I lose my train of thought. Fun, the joy of being a mother. Working from home. Right? So, okay, forgive me. I lost my train of thought going back. Ziri had a long weekend. That's why we said we need a vacation from a vacation most of the time. Okay, Nicole, how are you? How have you been?
Decent. Pretty much called out of work all weekend to move.
Did you get to move?
Yeah, it was mostly just helping my parents because they're getting kicked out of their house right now. So
I'm not gonna ask what happened, but okay. Good luck on the move. It's not the funnest time. I know. I hate moving. Okay, I hate moving. You can only count less than like with one hand how many times I moved, and one of the biggest moves is moving to a different country. Anyway, so I'm trying to see. Lawrence, how was your weekend? I make sure that I call everybody, so you can't even be quiet. I go like this.
I know, I thought you forgot me, right? No, that's
No.
okay. Yeah, I start my weekend for every 3 consecutive nights working. As always. Yeah, I always closing. So, and it's very tiring too because we keep telling those customer to put their mask on every time, and then they're gonna argue with you. They're just telling that we have the vaccine already, we are vaccinated also. That's what we are telling, but it's our company policy for now. That's what
Where do you work, Lawrence?
The ABC stores.
The ABC store.
At Planet Hollywood. Yes.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I like staycations, and every time I'm at Planet Hollywood doing a staycation, I grab my water from there. I grab stuff from there. Anyway, I think
Cheapest water in the Planet Hollywood.
I guess
You can buy for like 89 cents for the small ones, and $1 for the 1 liter. Yeah.
I just stopped doing staycation during this pandemic because crazy. I'm not ready to use like sheets used by other people, even public restrooms. It's hard for me still. So anyway, Miss Jaylene, how was your weekend?
I had a good weekend. I spent it with my family. Saturday we went to SeaWorld.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Well, my
Because
cousin
of being in San Diego.
Yeah. My cousin has a son just a couple years younger than my son, so we like to get together. So we went to SeaWorld on Saturday. It was okay. I'm a Disney fan, so. But anyway, it was fun. Just hanging with family. Then yesterday we went to a chamorro restaurant. I know there's some chamorro restaurants in Vegas too, so we're excited.
Yeah,
excited to taste them too. But yeah, just a good weekend with family.
Yeah, you won't feel lost. Plus, you're always here anyway. There's so many Hawaiian, Pacific, Island, Asian places, groceries in here. That's why we joke about, you guys made Vegas your 8th island.
Yeah, ninth island.
I'm sorry, 9th.
Yeah, that's what I say. I know. I have a lot of friends from high school who's there too, so it's awesome. It's awesome to reconnect with them.
Right. Okay. It's all fun. It's nice to hear how you guys been. Okay. It seems like, It seems like we're all starting to get out and about, but let's not overdo it, Here comes our Monday motivation. Okay. This is not really specifically for the freshmen, but I know from that last 3 days you've met with me, you're in the program, there's that feeling of overwhelm right now. And then tomorrow there are 2 tests scheduled. And I don't know, a lot of you worked over the weekend. I don't know how much study time you've put in there, okay? But what I do know is you guys are overwhelmed right now. This is exactly the reason why I chose this particular Monday motivation video.
Teacher has lost their mind. When you feel like your energy is all gone and it's impossible to finish every assignment on time. When you feel like you're mentally broken and your motivation to achieve is hard to find. When you feel like the clouds in your life are so dark it would be impossible to ever see the sun shine again. When you feel. Those are 3 of the most powerful words that can ever be put together. When you feel. Because the feel means you're still with us. Because the feel means you're still breathing. Because the feel means you still have an opportunity to be achieving. Because the feel means that you still have the power to stop the pain, stop the bleeding, stop the hurting, stop the grieving. I said, when you feel. Because the feel means you're still with us. Because the feel means you're still breathing. Because the feel means you still have an opportunity to be achieving. Because the feel means that you still have the power to stop the pain. Still have the power to stop the bleeding. Still have the power to stop the hurting. Still have the power to stop the grieving. So whenever you feel like your professor or teacher has lost their mind, because they're overwhelming you with a workload that seemingly will take up all of your time, you to pause and recall the reason why you made the choice to invest your time. And never lose sight of the fact that you are destined to shine. Never lose sight of the fact that you were made for this grind. Never lose sight of the fact that no hole is too deep for you to climb up out of. Above all else, your why will never ever allow you to withdraw. Your why will never ever allow you to pull the plug. Your why will never ever allow you to throw in the towel. See, it's your why that will push you to dig deeper and to go that extra mile. See, not only do you owe yourself, but you told your mama you were finished. You told your daddy you were finished. You told your brother you were finished. You told your sister you were finished. So therefore, it's up to you to never diminish the value of your word. And a wise man once gave me a wise word, and now I'm passing these wise words on to you. In total control of your situation. So when you feel like you're facing a breaking point, this is the point when you go to your professor. This is the point when you go to your academic advisor. And not the time to despise her, and not the time to despise him. Simply say, I am in this until I walk across the stage with my diploma. I am in this until I smell the sweet aroma of success. And right now, I'm feeling overwhelmed because I am on academic overload. Do you have any suggestions that will help me power through this semester? Because my only option is to figure this out. And whatever it takes, I can, I will, and I must do. See, I understand that drastic times call for drastic measures. And the measure of a person's will is determined by what they are willing to do to ensure triumph over tragedy. The measure of a person's will is determined by what they are willing to do to ensure success over failure. The measure of a person's will is determined by what they are willing to do to ensure winning over losing. And see, right now, I'm choosing to fight for my academic future, and that's why I came to your office. I promise. When they see that your passion is pushing you with a purpose, they will give you every ounce of their being to assure you are successful because they know you're worth it. I just need you to never forget that you're worth it. Success is your baby. You just gotta birth it and then kick back and enjoy the fruits of your labor. But in the meantime, I need you to pull up your sleeves. I need you to tighten up your boxing gloves because you're right in the middle of a heavyweight boxing match. And life is trying to take your title, and your survival in this academic arena is at stake. It's moments like these where we separate the real from the fake. But when it's like you shake off any and every punch that life throws and fight back with a series of vicious headshots and body blows to overcome and achieve the victory. But believe you me, life will keep testing. Believe you me, life will keep trying you. Believe you me, life will keep pushing you. Believe you me, life will keep trying to break you. I don't think y'all heard me. I said, believe you me, life will keep testing you. Believe you me, life will keep trying you. Believe you me, life will keep pushing you. Believe you me, life will keep trying to break you. Rock here with me. And always remember, you are unbreakable. They want to see you fail, but you are a diamond. And you succeed because you get back up after you fail. And you will get back up again and again until your arms are raised with the wind. So I need you to speak positivity into existence and ignore your inner voice of resistance, because it's your resilience and persistence that will allow you to master your time management skills, that will allow you to break all of these huge assignments down into small pieces, that will allow you to group study with a winner circle, that will allow you to jump over any, and I mean any academic hurdles. Always remember, when you feel, that means you are still breathing, and thus you have an opportunity to keep achieving. This is a great day to win.
That video is from Motivation to Study. I always give credit to the creator of the video. So Motivation to Study. We do this every Monday, and I specifically choose the videos I use. Most of the time I use Franklin Covey, but I decided not to use any Franklin Covey today because of how many freshmen we have that are starting. And I've heard you last Friday, you're overwhelmed. And I keep telling you, it's not an unusual feeling. Everybody went through that feeling when they started, okay? And then I released you on Friday to go to your weekend. I'm glad you got to relax, but I know it's still at the back of your head that Tuesday I have 2 tests and I have to work on the strug words, okay? That's why I specifically chose that video. Lawrence, how do you like that video and what did you learn? Real quick, I'm just gonna call on the freshmen.
Yeah, with that particular video, I learned for like, if there's some instances that like, for now, if I encounter difficulties in this program, it will give me a strong feeling to pursue this program and to finish it. And I don't quit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was talking about last Friday, what's your why, right? And then hang on to that why, okay? And when you feel like quitting, that's not the time to run away from your teachers. Right. That's the time to reach out to them, okay? It's different right here being online. Like when I was in the campus, students always say, you're so intimidating, you're so intimidating, so intimidating, okay? But then during the pandemic, we were trying to really not be lenient, but understand what's going on and be more understanding and compassionate. And this is all going on. But students can tell that sometimes I'm very strict, I'm stern, and that intimidates them. But when you're at the brink of giving up, that's not the time to move away from us. It's the time to reach out to us, okay? All the more it should be easier for you because I can't smack you. Right here. Right? This should be easier for you because I can't smack you. Anyway, Paolo, what was your takeaway? And how'd you like the Monday motivation? Do you want to go keep doing this every Monday?
Yeah, I'm committed. It's either I walk across that stage next December or I wait till 2021, but eventually I'm gonna finish. I'm not gonna give up on this program. I feel like it'll benefit me in the long run a lot more than anything else I could have done, anything else I could have chose.
Yeah, and right now everybody's multitasking. You work, but you also have to acknowledge that you went into this program. You signed up for this program, and you're gonna do both. You're gonna do everything to do both. If you have to work while doing this, then you have to do both. Okay. What about you, Brandon? Takeaway, and do you like doing this every Monday?
Yeah, I think it's really refreshing for like a Monday motivation because nobody likes Mondays. And I guess it just reminded me why, or made me think about why I chose this path, because school is never my strongest suit. But yeah, I just want to change and pace, I guess, my lifestyle. Kind of just reminded me why I'm doing this.
Right. Okay. Your commitment to your why is very, very important. It doesn't have to be other people. It can be your commitment to your why to yourself because somebody said something to you and you just want to give them the finger after you've succeeded, right? Remember you talked to me that way? Remember you said I was stupid? Remember you said I'm not worth anything? You remember I said I can't finish anything? Yeah. What about you, Sherlyn?
I think the Monday motivation, it's good to start off the week. And what I took from the video was that no matter what, you don't quit and you just if you feel like quitting, you just have to think about who you're doing it for and why you're doing it, and also to think about like the end result, like where it will get you.
Yeah. Again, your commitment to your why. What about you, Noah?
I think the video is pretty like refreshing, and it gives you the extra push on a Monday. And then I think the video, like the why, it reminds you of like why you signed up, and then it gives you the extra push, the motivation, just to persevere through it all. Like it might be hard now, but in the end, you'll get there.
Yeah, it's going to be worth it. I'm not promising you it's going to be easy all throughout. I'm not promising you it's going to be a bed of roses. You got to remember, roses have thorns too. Okay, so there will be times when it's going to test you. There's that one class that will challenge you big time. Okay, it's like, oh, it's easy, it's easy, easy. And then there comes this one class that for some reason was so hard for you, but maybe easy for some. Yeah. And that's where friends come into play. That's where your instructor come into play more. Okay. What about you, Rami?
I understand the point of it. It's just videos like that make me anxious. So no, I didn't like it.
Oh no! Why does it make you anxious? I want to understand, because I always get votes from students. Did you like that? We keep doing this. Is it a waste of time? Okay. Why does it make you anxious?
Like feeling the pressure, or kind of like everyone's like depending on you to graduate. So I don't know. That's just my opinion though.
Okay. I guess we have to have a change of mindset, looking at it more as a challenge, more than a pressure. Remember, it was even mentioned, okay? Diamonds are pressed. They came from what? Carbon, dirt, okay? And then they become a precious stone, okay? But it goes through fire and pressure before it gets to become valuable, okay? So sometimes it's a matter of changing, not sometimes, but 90% of the time it's a matter of changing mindset. That's why I told you during orientation, okay? Not yet orientation, but day one, okay? You have to have that mindset. If you already said, I'm not going to finish, this is difficult, I'm not going to do this, I don't like this homework, go now. You're not going to finish because you already conditioned your mind, okay? Speaking of orientation, freshman orientation, I told you, it's right here, 1:30 p.m. today, okay? Same login, same Zoom meeting. I have a busy day today. After that, I have another 3 p.m. meeting. But our orientation, Rami, Brandon, Paolo, Lawrence, Sherlyn, and Noah, I am going to meet you at 1:30, same Zoom access, specifically for orientation. Some of you haven't gone through the interview process. I'm going to combine the two. I'm going to mix the two, okay? Is anybody not able to join that one? Paolo, I'm sorry, Paolo. 1:30, I said this last Friday, right? 1:30, because I put you in my schedule. I'm going to get you on a 10-minute break, and then we start at exactly 11 o'clock with presentations. We're going to start off with the seniors, okay? I'll start off with Robert, followed by Tony, and then Kevin, okay? So that freshmen, you can see how they present and what are they presenting, the items that need to be presented. Start your timers now. We'll open our cameras again at 11 o'clock, okay? Nyla, I sent you a message in your chat box. Read it. Okay, we're gonna start with presentations. Robert, are you there? Okay, you ready? Take it away.
Okie dokie. So, drug I got, Cytomel. The generic is leotyronine, and the therapeutic is the thyroid agent, and the pharmacological is thyroid hormones. For the pregnancy category, I got A. So that means it's not really, that means it's fine to use when you're pregnant, I'm pretty sure. There's like little effects. The DEA class, it's not controlled, so it's prescription only. Adverse effects, weak or shallow breathing, changes in weight, and it's used for when your thyroid does not produce enough of its own hormones. It can be used with surgery and radioactive therapy for thyroid cancer as well. And it should not be used to treat people with weight problems. And if you start feeling chest pains or anything like any sort of other pains, it's a sign of thyroid toxicity and you should stop taking it or at least contact your doctor about it.
Any additional information, Robert?
No.
You have something very important that you said in there, the chest pain, okay? And should not be used to treat people with weight problems. The brand name is Cytomel. The generic is liothyronine. Take note. I know as Americans, we pronounce I-N-E as ein. When it comes to drugs, you pronounce it as in, okay? Like diphenhydramine. And this one, liothyronine. You follow? Okay, that's one adjustment I'd like you to make because it's very common for us to say ein, right? Ein. Okay, so liothyronine. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Thyro is the giveaway. It's a thyroid hormone. Did you see that? Thyro. Okay. Lio is another thing that should tell you that it has something to do with your thyroid. Okay. Question, Robert, if you're given this prescription, are you going to be on this forever?
No.
Most likely. You know why? Because the problem, like what you mentioned, is the thyroid does not produce enough of its own hormones. So this is some sort of a quote unquote, not really, this is not a supplement, but helps you produce or the patient produce enough thyroid hormones necessary for physiology and proper functioning of your body. Okay, is that clear?
Mm-hmm. But like, sorry, if you have like the thyroid cancer, is it going to be something you're not going to be using for a long time if you get it treated?
Yes. Some people get their thyroid removed, right?
Hmm.
Okay. So yeah, all the more they're going to be on this forever. Okay. Any additional information that you guys got outside of what Robert has? Okay. This is not controlled. He mentioned pregnancy category A. We have 5 pregnancy categories: A, B, C, D, and X. X is do not give. A is safe to pregnant women. It's been tested. So this is A. So it is safe for pregnant women. That clear? Okay. Thanks, Robert. Tony, your turn. Good job, Robert. Tony's next. After Kevin, it will be Jess, at Ziri, then Nicole. While we're waiting, homework for today, do not forget to listen to the next 2 audio lectures in customer service. Next 2 in customer service. And then tomorrow, 2 audio lectures for pharmacology. Come Wednesday, I will lecture on both pharmacology. I will do a lecture on both pharmacology and customer service. So that's a lot of audio lectures that you should have listened to, and you should be ready on Wednesday. Thursday and Friday, you go to the campus, okay? However, Friday, you see me first via live Zoom, and then you go to the campus, okay? Ready, Tony?
Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. My drug was Avandia. The generic is rosiglitazone. Rosiglitazone. I don't know how you say that. The pharmacological class is thiazolid. How do you say that, Miss L? How do you pronounce
You
that?
got it. You're on the right track. Thiazolidinedione. Thia, you broke it down right. Thia represents sulfur. Sulfur in the chemical component. Thiazolidinedione, not Celine Okay, but if you want to remember and combine Celine Dion in this particular drug word, you could. If that's how you want to remember it. It's thiazolidinedione. And you have to remember that thiazolidinediones are for diabetes. And a giveaway root in here is glit. Glit, gluc, glue should tell you it's for diabetes. Did you see that? Glit, do you see the glit at the middle of the generic? And you pronounce it right, Tony, correct, Avandia.
Awesome. The therapeutic class is anti-diabetic. The DEA class is not controlled, but it is RX only, which is prescription only. The pregnancy class, the only thing I could find was consult a doctor. The uses, it treats type 2 diabetes only. It cannot be used with type 1. It raises sensitivity to insulin while reduces circulating insulin levels. In adjunct, which means in combination with a diet to improve the glycemic control. The total daily dose should not exceed 8 milligrams. Some side effects are headache and cold symptoms. Serious side effects are shortness of breath, unusual tiredness, and swelling. And if that happens, you should go to your doctor. And this is what they look like. The 2 milligrams are pink, the 4 are brownish, and the 8 milligrams are like a chalky color.
It looks like a pentagon?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so this is for diabetes. I'd like to mention these terminologies. Okay. Glucose is the sugar in the blood. That's the terminology for sugar in the blood, blood sugar. Okay. When you say hyper, it's high, right? Gly, sugar in the blood, sugar, emia in the blood. So hyperglycemia is high or increased sugar levels in the blood. Can you follow? Once we change that to hypo, it's low or decreased, gly, sugar levels, emia in the blood, like anemia, right? Emia means in the blood. Hyperglycemia is high sugar levels in the blood. Hypoglycemia is low sugar levels in the blood. So which one is diabetes? Hyperglycemia or hypoglycemia? Noah, what do you think?
Hypoglycemia.
Diabetes, is it hyperglycemia or hypoglycemia?
Hypoglycemia.
Oh, again, diabetes.
Hyperglycemia.
What is diabetes? You have what? Increased sugar levels in the blood, right? So is it hyperglycemia or hypoglycemia? Again.
Hyper.
Okay. I'm talking about diabetes first, not the drug. That's where the confusion is coming from, okay? That's why I wanted to tell you this terminologies. hyperglycemia, hyperglycemic state, diabetes, because you have increased sugar levels, right? What these drugs do is to lower the sugar levels and bring it down to a normal. Can you follow? Okay. So when you have diabetes, you are in a hyperglycemic state. Can you follow? Can I call these drugs anti-hyperglycemic? Can I call these drugs anti-hyperglycemic agent? Yes. Can I call this drug a hypoglycemic agent? Yes. Think about it. Anti-hyper, then it's hypo. You get it? That's where the confusion is coming from. I'm telling you this terminologies because I don't know what's going to be asked of you on the national certification exam. So I want you to be familiar with the terminologies. Can you follow? Glucose is the sugar level in the blood. Okay. Hyperglycemia is increased high sugar level in the blood. Hypoglycemia is decreased or low sugar level in the blood. So when we're talking about anti-diabetics or drugs that are used to reduce sugar level in the blood, they can be called anti-hyperglycemic agent or hypoglycemic agent. You get it now? All of this plus, minus, and minus, minus. Okay, that's why I wanted to clarify that. Okay, so because it's not always going to come out as a diabetic agent, anti-diabetic agent. What if the terminology on the options is hypoglycemic agent? What if the terminology that's given in the option is anti-hyperglycemic? Now you know that those are terminologies that can pertain to anti-diabetics. You understand? Give me a thumbs up if you understood. I'm clearing confusions right now, okay? But I'm giving you possibilities that may come up on certain exams, final exams, national certification exams. The terminologies may vary, but they may mean the same. That's why I'm giving you all of these medical terminologies and I break it down by suffix, prefix, or roots, okay? Good job, Tony. Next one. We're going to talk about diabetes more in detail in the next coming lectures or lives, okay? And I also have those in audio lectures. I'm even going to teach you how to calculate insulin, okay? The amount of insulin that needs to be given to the patient. Kevin, you're next.
Yep. Alrighty, so this is my drug for this week. It is Depo-Provera. Generic is medroxyprogesterone. So basically, so we can tell from the name from the generic, progesterone is a hormone in the female anatomy basically it aids in this particular hormone is what aids in preventing ovulation, which is when the egg is getting or prevents the female egg from releasing from the ovary. And this also makes it harder for sperm to reach the uterus to fertilize. Pharmacology class for this particular drug or hormone, I should say, is antioplastics, progestins, therapeutic, hormone. It's also used as a contraceptive. Pregnancy category, it's X, which means do not use at all. Obviously, you don't want to be pregnant and you want to use as a contraceptive because it's already too late. You know, you're already pregnant. So why would you want to be taking this while you're pregnant? DA class, it's not a sign because it's not a controlled substance. It's only by prescription. Side effects, so you're gonna have like dysfunctional uterine bleeding. That's the most common. Another is headache, increased weight, and amenorrhea. Amenorrhea is, give me 1 second. I had to look it up because I was like, what is amenorrhea? Amenorrhea is Basically, periods, absence of periods where you don't get it, like your cycle's not what it used to be. So it could be absent or it doesn't happen as when it's supposed to. Administration, we have tablets. An example of one of them is right here in this picture here. From I put on the slide for 10 milligrams. Usually this is given through an injectable solution, 150 milligrams or 1 milliliter or 400. And then there's also a pre-filled syringe of 104 milligrams over 0.65 mLs. Some important information, there's a lot. Do not use if you have undiagnosed vaginal bleeding, liver disease, breast cancer, or had a blood stroke or blood clot or stroke, because taking this can also elevate the chances or worsen the chances of developing a blood clot or stroke, and it can also worsen your liver. It can also decrease calcium in your bones and cause osteoporosis, which is basically causing your bones to be more have more holes and be more susceptible to breaking or to not developing as much. So it's not recommended to take for a long time. It's actually not supposed to be taken for more than 2 years. So 2 years or less is ideal for this medication. Other medications that can interact with this and cause serious effects is St. John's wort, which is a all-natural supplement that is supposed to treat or help treat depression. So it's also one of those where it's contraindicated, where it can worsen your depression, or it can worsen, vice versa. Some other information that I found too. Let me see here. Let me pull up my notes. So for the 150 milligram injectable solution, that's IM, that's done once every 3 months, 13 weeks in the deltoid muscle or in the glutes. And then for the subcutaneous injection, that's going to be the 104 milligrams right here. And that's given through the anterior thigh or the abdomen. And then obviously you don't, when you're administering this, make sure the patient's not pregnant. So you want to ask them like, hey, when are you pregnant, or are you currently, if you are, like, well, how far along are you? Because that's contraindicated for this medication. And the 104, it can also help with endometriosis. And what is endometriosis? Let me see here. Let me pull up my notes. It's the disorder in which the tissue in the uterus grows on the abnormally. Yeah, grows on the outside, and basically causes a lot of pain. So this can also help with that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all the information I have. And yeah.
Okay, good. Leave it there. Okay. Depo-Provera is the brand name. When you're given this, the Depo-Provera, it's just talking about the injectable, not the tablet. Okay. This is your tip. Depot. What's a depot? Like a well depot, an oil depot, right? It stays. So the word depot should tell you this is injectable IM, because it stays in the muscle. It creates a depot in the muscle. Remember how long this lasts? 3 months. And it releases the active ingredient at a specific time. It creates a depot on the muscle. That's the giveaway. So intramuscular right away. Okay. Be it on the brand is a giveaway that this is an injectable injected intramuscularly. And it should tell you that it will actually last longer, not just a day, because they created a depot, okay? Kevin said it lasts for 3 months. This can be used as contraceptives, okay? When you hear the word anti-neoplastics, it's for cancer, okay? This may also be used to regulate periods for those who are on perimenopausal, okay? Amenorrhea, another term that Kevin mentioned, no period at all. Okay, so people think that because they lost the period, there's a problem, or they're getting menopause. Okay, a lot of things that Kevin mentioned on the important information is the general information for contraceptives, particularly the progesterone. Okay, breast cancer, okay, may cause, or be careful if you had stroke or blood clot issues or problems when on this particular hormone. Okay, you may increase your side effect of stroke and blood clot and breast cancer. This is not listed in here, very important. If you're a female in your 30s and is smoking, the chances are increased with all this important information that's in there. So female in their 30s, smoker, will have increased stroke, blood clot probability, breast cancer probability. But any progesterone, if you had a history of cancer, breast cancer, stroke, or blood clot, should be taken with warning. You have to mention this to your doctor, okay? This may also increase your calcium, okay? Your calcium levels. That's why people who are on this tend to have osteoporosis later on, okay? Contraceptives usually have the endometriosis side effect as well, which is the thickening of the walls of the uterus, okay? Another important information that Kevin mentioned is it's contraindicated to those, or if you're on this prescription, do not take it with St. John's wort. St. John's wort is an herbal supplement, over the counter because it's herbal, okay? And this is supposedly a supplement that helps with depression or anxiety, okay? We call it nature's Prozac, okay? Natural. And this is the problem. Sometimes, or many times, people just get supplements from the shelf because it's over the counter when they've heard it or read of it, not knowing that this can cause severe interactions with the current prescriptions they're taking. They're already on an antidepressant, then they're going to take St. John's wort. They're on this contraceptive and they didn't know, they didn't read that you're not supposed to take St. John's wort. Okay? That's why I always say it's nice to have that Medscape. It will have a list of contraindicated drugs, a long list, alphabetical. Okay? And another point is don't just grab supplements, herbal supplements. Once you've heard of it, you'll think that it's safe because it's natural. Yes, it may be safe, but with the current prescriptions that you have, it may have an interaction. And now that you know this, you can take care of yourself and your family members better. Okay? And this is where the problem starts. Okay? I wish I could tell this to more people all the time. That not because it's herbal, it's safe. Yes, it is safe, but then we don't know what you're taking. Yeah? Okay. Thanks, Kevin. Contraceptives are obviously pregnancy X because you're already pregnant. Like what Kevin said, there's no reason for you to not to stop the pregnancy. The pregnancy is already there. Okay, good job. Thank you. Who's next? Ziri, is that you? It's gonna be you? Or Jess? Who goes?
I could go, that's fine.
Okay, so Jess, Ziri, then Nicole.
Okay. So my drug was Bumex. The generic for it is bumetanide. Therapeutic class would be cardiovascular agent, antihypertensive. Pharmacologic class is a loop diuretic or water pill. Used to treat fluid retention in people with congestive heart failure, liver disease, or a kidney disorder. It works by acting on the kidneys to increase the flow of urine. DA class is prescription only. Pregnancy category would be C. Additional info I found would be to not take it if you are unable to urinate, obviously, have severe dehydration or an electrolyte imbalance. Bumex is not approved for anyone younger than 18, can be injected by a healthcare provider if you are unable to take it by the mouth. This Bumex can also harm your kidneys if you use certain medicines for infections, cancer, high blood pressure, or pain, such as Advil, Motrin, or Aleve. And that's all I got.
Very good. I know I just said you don't say in, you don't say ein, right? But this one is pronounced as bumetanide.
Wow.
Ide, not in, okay? Kind of confusing, okay? Brand name is Bumex, generic is bumetanide, okay? Just said it's cardiovascular agent because it's an antihypertensive. Another anti, okay? Anti against hyper, increase tension in the blood vessels. So increase blood pressure. Anti is to decrease it, okay? But I like to mention that this is a diuretic, because our antihypertensives or drugs for hypertension or lower blood pressure levels are grouped differently. There's so many. I could even say there's ABCDs or ABCs of hypertension, antihypertensives. Okay. I'm going to mention that in the audio lecture. ABCD. The D is the diuretic. The C is the calcium channel blocker. The B is the beta blocker. The A can be antiarrhythmic. Okay. The D is the diuretics. Diuretics are grouped in different ways too. This one is a loop diuretic. It actually acts on the loop of Henle. I'm not going to get into detail, but I like to talk about diuretics. Diuretics, most commonly known as water pills. The students will say, it makes you pee. It makes you urinate. Why do we use diuretics as a way to lower blood pressure levels? Okay. When we have water retention, there's salt retention and there's water retention. I always say this, think about the beach. Salt is best friends with water. Okay, so remember that when there's water, there's salt. When there's water retention, what happens is there's going to be an increase in blood pressure. Okay, can you imagine a hose and you turn on the hose and the flow is just too much, right? And it stays there. So with an antihypertensive, particularly a diuretic, when you release or excrete those extra fluid, AKA water and salt, what do you think happens? It relaxes blood vessels, thus lowering the blood pressure. Can you follow? Every time I'm explaining pharmacology very simply, I always wish I picture my professor back in pharmacy school, and I wish she taught it this way. Yeah? So I didn't struggle too much, okay? I try to make it as layman as possible. So that's what diuretics do. Release, excrete the extra fluid and salt so that the blood vessel calms down or relaxes. Okay, it's not constricted anymore. Okay, fun fact, what's a natural diuretic that you can find in your kitchen?
Coffee.
Very good. Coffee. Okay. That's why we all say, I gotta go use the restroom. Okay. I always have to. I gotta go use the restroom. Okay. Because it's a natural diuretic, caffeine. Okay. Very good. Next one. Aziri, you're next.
Okay, so my drug was Benevia. That's the brand name. The generic name is ibandronic acid. The pharmacology class is biophosphonates. Therapeutic class is a calcium regulator. It's used to prevent or treat the osteoporosis. And some side effects are heartburn, stomach pain, flu-like symptoms, and diarrhea. The DEA class, it's not controlled, it's prescription only, and the pregnancy class is C. They recommend to take to wait at least an hour before taking any other medications, and to stay away from the NSAID drugs and aspirin. Yeah.
Those are very important warnings and information that must be on each patient's prescription and counseled by the pharmacist, okay? I know it's hard to say sometimes, oh, this is pronounced this way, but I'm telling you, the pronunciation I'm telling you is the American way of pronouncing these drugs, okay? You're gonna be working with pharmacists, very diverse, okay? From India, from Vietnam, from the Philippines, Asian pharmacists, everywhere, okay? And they may pronounce it differently. But we had to transition and learn it how Americans pronounce it, okay? So that's why I say, don't worry too much about the pronunciation. It's like tomato, tomato. However, you don't want to confuse it. So I'm saying how we say it here in the US, okay? Boniva. Okay, a lot of us, if we are not familiar with it, we're probably going to pronounce it as Boniva, right? Americans, Boniva. Okay, but this one is Boniva. I talked about Hyundai, right? Hyundai in South Korea, which originated in South Korea. It's pronounced as Honda. Okay, totally different. Okay, so don't stress too much about it, but the way I'm saying it is how we pronounce it most commonly here. Boniva. The generic can be ibandronic acid or ibandronate. I wanted to use dronate because dronate is a common suffix for bisphosphonates. You will see this in the book that I gave you, which is the common cheat codes, dronates. You can think about drones flying, okay? Dronate, when you say dronate, right away, the first thing that you should think of is bisphosphonates. And when you think about bisphosphonates, you should think about osteoporosis. Oh, it is for osteoporosis. It regulates calcium. What is osteoporosis? The brittling of the bones, which is common to our elderly. I always say, take as much milk as you can while you're young, because calcium is absorbed by your bones while you're young. Okay, as we get older, the absorption isn't the same. Okay, but I don't drink milk, but there are other sources of calcium. Okay, it's a calcium regulator. Remember pharmacological class versus therapeutic class? Usually if you can't pronounce it and you don't understand it, that's a pharmacological class. If it's a therapeutic class, it's kind of layman's term, or it may be in Latin or Greek medical terminology, but not something not understandable like bisphosphonates. So dronate, bisphosphonate, osteoporosis. You follow? Okay, thank you. Next one, Nicole. You will notice that the drugs that we're studying or going over are either in the excretory system or reproductive system. The hormones will fall under the reproductive system, endocrine, okay?
So my drug is Decadrone or Decadrone. The generic is dexamethasone. The therapeutic class is anti-inflammatory agents. The pharmacology class is glucocorticoids. The pregnancy class is category C. It's not controlled, but it's prescription only. The adverse effects would be nausea, vomiting, upset stomach, headache, dizziness, acne, and skin rash. The use is to relieve inflammation. Some info is it's used to decrease the swelling associated with tumors of the spine and brain, and to treat eye inflammation. Treats and prevents allergic reaction. Other stuff is when you take this medication, you should take it with food or milk or a full glass of water if you have if you're taking it pill form. You should avoid alcohol because it has very serious interactions that can occur. You should tell your doctor if you have serious side effects that include signs of infection, such as like sore throat, bone and joint pain, irregular heartbeat, eye pressure, or like vision problems. And you shouldn't take this with NSAIDs like aspirin, ibuprofen, naproxen, just because it increases the risks of side effects to the gut and it could cause ulcers and bleeding.
Very good. Okay, so tips again. Dexamethasone. Steroid, right? This one specifically is a glucocorticoid. Okay. And what are steroids? Steroids are anti-inflammatory. You follow? Zone, suffix, generic. I looked at the generic, not the brand. This one is pronounced as Decadron. It doesn't have an E at the end, so we don't pronounce it Decadron. Okay? And then anti-inflammatory because it says steroid. Steroids are anti-inflammatory. Okay, glucocorticoid, corticosteroid. Okay, adverse effects, she mentioned nausea, vomiting, and she also mentioned to not take with NSAIDs. What does NSAID stand for? Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory agent. This is already an anti-inflammatory. Do not take a not steroid-based anti-inflammatory. Plus NSAIDs have a side effect of what? Number one side effect of NSAID is gastric bleeding, gastric irritation. Okay? So this is an anti-inflammatory, but steroid-based glucocorticoid. Okay? Dexamethasone. Okay? Clear? I'm just highlighting and helping you remember these drugs because I know there are a lot. Okay? But it helps when I point out what you should be looking for. Okay? Thanks, Nicole. Be honest, freshmen, who opened that ebook that I gave you? Cheat codes. Cheat codes. No. Okay? Now you're realizing, okay, that you should go and look. Just find this ones I'm talking about, right? The dronate, the zone. What else did I mention today? The dronate, the zone. Anything else I mentioned today? Glue, glit, gluck, right? They're all in the book. And then it will start clicking. Okay? I'm not punishing you for not opening it, but you are, and I'm letting you learn. You are going to realize that, oh my, she pointed out certain things that I need to look for. And if I remember those codes, I remember what they're for. It all ties in together. Now, it's not a tongue twister anymore to remember these drugs. Okay? Next one. Are we on to the freshmen now? Yes, we are. 5 minutes break. Come back. We'll start off with, she's like, no. Lawrence, Noah, Ramy, Brandon, Sherlyn. Okay? 5 minutes, set your timer now. So 45.
Miss Elle, I'm gonna head out. I've got a meeting at noon. Bye. Thank you.
Okay, do you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Do you see my screen, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Can I start it now?
Yeah, go ahead. Your turn, Lawrence.
Okay. So my drug is Cortef, brand name here in US, Cortef or Solo Cortef. The generic name is hydrocortisone, and pharmacological category is corticosteroids, systemic. When it says systemic, it means it affecting the entire body rather than a single organ or body part. For example, systemic disorders such as the hypertension or high blood pressure, and or systemic diseases such as the flu, which affect the entire body. So that's systemic. Okay, therapeutic class, corticosteroids. And this drug is used to treat arthritis, blood, hormone, immune system disorders. And then the Drug Enforcement Administration, RX and over-the-counter, pregnancy, type C, and cannot be ruled out. I don't know. And the warnings, it will cause nausea, heartburn, headache, trouble sleeping, and increased sweating or acne may occur. All right, additional information about this drug that I researched. An average and a large doses of hydrocortisone or cortisone can cause elevation of blood pressure, salt and water retention, and increased excretion of potassium. These effects are less likely to occur with the synthetic derivatives, except when used in large doses. So dietary salt restriction and potassium supplementation may be necessary. All corticosteroids increase calcium excretion. Actually, this drug it comes with the tablet and in liquid form, and also in lotion that we can use to in our skin.
Ointments and creams.
What was that, ma'am?
Ointment and cream too.
Yeah, cream also, yes, it is. But I have right now only the tablet. Okay, so side effects of, okay, thank you. So side effects of this is fluid and electrolyte disturbances. So as I mentioned earlier, the sodium retention and loss of potassium. And in muscle or musculoskeletal, it we feel maybe muscle weakness, or it is a muscle weakness, or it will cause also osteoporosis. And in the gastrointestinal, might be a peptic ulcer with possible perforation and hemorrhoids. And when it comes to dermatologic, it facial erythema, which means erythema is the reddening of the skin. And when it comes to neuro or neurological, it may cause like vertigo or convulsions, headache, as I mentioned also earlier. So when it comes to endocrine system, suppression of growth in children. So it will not good for pregnant women. And when it comes to ophthalmic, the eye, it may cause glaucoma. And so that's it. That's what I have on my research.
That's fine. Leave it up, Lawrence. Just so you know, when you
Thank
present, we lose your camera. Is that right? That's what I'm seeing on my end.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's okay. But just so you know, we lose your camera, we lose looking at you when you're presenting. Going back to the drug, the brand is Cortef, the generic is hydrocortisone. Another zone, so corticosteroid. Okay. Know that this is this can be prescription or over the counter. Usually the over the counter ones are the ones that you grab in tube. It's in a cream or ointment. Okay. Yeah. Why? Usually people use this as an anti-inflammatory, very common in hemorrhoids. What's hemorrhoids? I always describe it like a flower on the anus, usually caused by constipation. When you're forced to defecate, okay, because of constipation, sometimes there's going to be a tear or inflammation in there. And this is the reason why people like grab hydrocortisone in tube, cream or ointment form, and they just apply it there so the inflammation goes away. And Lawrence mentioned the hemorrhoid part. Okay, so that's why it's very common in there. Okay, but it can also be prescription. Okay, next one. Who's next? Is it Noah or Paolo? Noah. I got notes in the chat box just so you know, in case you're not seeing it. Okay.
My drug was a Tdap vaccine, and then Tdap is actually an abbreviation for tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis. And then for some of the brand names, it's mostly known as Tdap vaccine, but then it is released through Adacel and Boostrix. And I found a therapeutic class to be a vaccines combos. And then DEA class is prescription only. The pregnancy class is A. It is actually recommended. It's like a drug you would take when you're pregnant because the child or the newborn is actually high risk for a whooping cough. And then it basically increases the immunity to diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis. And then tetanus, there's not really a direct cure for it. So this is really the only way that you could really beat it. And then there's really no major risks besides like nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, fever, and then just like body aches.
That's it?
Yeah, and then it's recommended to get like, for like a children, you're supposed to get it when you're at least 7, and it's recommended to get like a dose every 10 years. And then every pregnancy, you're supposed to get it too.
Very good. Okay. Tdap is also DTaP. Okay. For those like older generation, they used to call it DTaP. It's the same. Tdap, DTaP. Okay. It pertains to tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis. Pertussis is your whooping cough. Okay. Very common. Carrier are parents bringing it to their infants or their kids. That's why it's not only the kids who are supposed to be getting this, but parents as well. I like to point out in your abbreviation packet, there may be a misspelling in there, a typographical error in there. Diphtheria is spelled as DIPHTH. ERIA. You want to make that adjustment if there was a typo error in your abbreviation packet. Diphtheria is DIPHTHERIA. Another information, general information I'd like to tell you for vaccines. Okay, in general, when there's a vaccine for something, that should tell you that it's caused by a virus, not a bacteria. Okay, like chickenpox, there's a vaccine for it. It's caused by a virus, right? There's one which is a TB vaccine, BCG vaccine. TB, tuberculosis, is caused by a bacteria. Okay, but 90%, if there's a vaccine for it, if you're asked what is the causative agent, what causes it? Virus. Don't we have a COVID vaccine now? And what caused it? A virus. Chickenpox, virus. Mumps, virus. Measles, virus. Rubella, virus. That's how you can tell, okay? So on tests, if you're having a hard time figuring out, is this caused by a bacteria or a virus? If there's a vaccine for it, virus. Okay? These are educated guesses I'm teaching you as tips to test taking, okay? This one has to be given every 10 years, okay? You're gonna be familiar with vaccines because what? Before you go out on externship, you should have completed your vaccinations. Speaking of which, let me make this announcement. You should have started your hepatitis B vaccine while you're in career prep, because that's the one that takes the longest, 6 months. Okay, and if you haven't, you're going to be delayed. Okay, you may not be delayed because of me, but you may be delayed because of immunization. To answer your question, Tdap is one of those required to be shown in your record that you have it. Okay, required. Hep B required from medical professionals, paramedical professionals like us. Okay, Hep B. Nowadays, Hep B is given after childbirth. Once the child is born within the first 72 hours, the child is given a Hep B vaccine. Okay, we need that because we're prone to what? Needle stick injury, etc., etc. Okay, so medical professionals are required hepatitis B vaccine. So if you haven't yet from career prep, start it now. You're going to be delayed to go out on externship. Okay, vaccines in general. What's one question that is common to ask when you're going to be given a vaccine? Of course, they're going to ask, are you sick today, right? But what allergies they ask of you? You remember? Are you allergic to?
Penicillin.
No. Are you allergic to? Do you have allergies to? Think about flu shots. When you're going for your flu shot, one of the questions there is like, are you sick today? Are you pregnant? Are you allergic to?
Antibiotics.
Nah. This is a common question on the board exam too, and on tests. It'll come up on your final exam even. Eggs. Because we culture them in eggs. Eggs. Are you allergic to eggs? So my friend and I, when we go for a flu clinic, she's funny. She gets tired. She'll ask, are you allergic to eggs? Are you allergic? Because we do hundreds of flu shots. Are you allergic to eggs? So she's going to change it by asking, do you eat eggs? How do you like your eggs? Because if the patient says he eats eggs or she eats eggs, then that means they're not allergic to eggs, right? Because she gets tired of asking, are you allergic to eggs? Okay, but remember that, okay? We ask, are you allergic to eggs? It's in the questionnaire too, okay? Thanks, I just wanted to give you general information about vaccine, okay? Next one.
Am I next? I think I'm next.
Okay, Noah, can you take it down? Thank you. Good job, guys. Everybody who has presented already. Take note of my notes in the chat box, huh?
Okay. It's not working. I don't know why it's not working. It's not letting me share.
Okay, real quick, email it to me. I'll project it for you, but I'm not gonna wait. Next.
Okay.
I'll wait for your email, okay? And then I'll project it for you.
Okay.
And then once we're off of Zoom, you might want to figure that out later on, okay? It might be your setting. I put my email address in the chat box. Who's next? Paula
Or
or Brandon? I don't know who's who.
I'm not really sure.
Okay, Brandon raised his hand first, so I'll go with Brandon. Then Paolo, then Sherlyn.
Is my screen showing?
Yeah.
Okay. I had Actos. It's a brand name. The generic brand is pioglitazone. The pharmaceutical class is diazolidinediones. The therapeutic class is anti-diabetic combinations. The pregnancy class is C, and the DEA class is RX. Side effects may include congestive heart failure, headache, swelling, or edema. Muscle pain, cold symptoms, increases your chances to fracture your bones. Any uses? Actos is a prescription medication used to treat the symptoms of type 2 diabetes, not type 1. If you do have type 1 diabetes, you cannot use this drug because of the insulin. Additional information. Okay. Actos is an oral diabetes medicine that helps control or actually lowers the blood sugar levels. It may be used alone or with other medications as well. Avoid drinking alcohol, as alcohol lowers blood sugar and may interfere with your diabetes treatment. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay, very good. Actos. Brand is Actos, generic. Look at this. Look at this again. Pioglitazone. Here comes the glit and the glitazone again, right? And then glitazones are thiazolidinediones. Okay. Which drug is that was presented earlier that you can group this with? Thiazolidinedione group or glitazone group or anti-diabetic group? That's a thiazolidinedione. Which is that? Who presented that?
Avandia, mine.
Avandia. There you go. But what's the generic for Avandia, Tony?
It is rosiglitazone.
There goes. That's a rosiglitazone. This one is pioglitazone. You see now? So if you are to make flashcards, you can group them in the same color flashcards or group them in the same column if you're using spreadsheet. But that's how you group them. Okay, good job. So I won't say much about Actos because it's very similar. Avandia, okay? Another thiazolidinedione, another glitazone, another anti-diabetic. Okay, I've mentioned enough already on that one. Good job. Thank you, Brandon. Next one. Paolo, you ready? Raimi, I got your slide and I have it ready too.
Can you guys see my screen?
Not yet. Loading. There you go.
All right. So my drug was aldactone. The brand name is aldactone. The generic is spironolactone. The pharmacological class was anti-mineral corticoid. It's used to treat for high blood pressure and for heart failure. It's also to keep your potassium levels, I believe, lower, if I'm not mistaken. It's to treat hypokalemia, I believe. And then the drug class, it is prescription only. For pregnancy category, it was a class C. And then the side effects, the main ones were it can cause a rash, headache, dizziness, nausea, and then stomach pains. And then another use for it, I believe, is also used to help with acne in some cases.
Very good. The brand is aldactone, another own spironolactone. However, this is a mineralocorticoid, okay? He mentioned something about hypokalemia. Okay, check your chat box. Hypo is low, okay? Kalemia came from the word kalium. Kalium. And what is kalium? Potassium. Kalium. Okay, K-A-L-I-U-M. Potassium symbol is capital K. Okay, potassium. Okay. Potassium is not the same as vitamin K. It's different. Okay. The symbol for potassium is capital K because it came from the word kalium. K-A-L-I-U-M. Okay. Potassium is an electrolyte. What's that one fruit that's rich in potassium?
Bananas.
Bananas. Okay. So in the hospital, when we used to work, when you're hungover, we will always say a banana bag. That's a bag rich in potassium. I tell this to my student, if you're hungover, you eat a lot of bananas, but don't come to my class hungover, okay? And tell me, listen, I eat a lot of bananas anyway. Yeah? Okay. For those who work graveyard and work at the club, don't even pull that one on me, okay? But fun fact, okay, bananas are rich in potassium, okay, and it's an immediate, it's not 100%, but it helps with hungover, just so you know, okay? And spironolactone, what did you mention, Paolo, about potassium and spironolactone?
So it's used to make sure that your potassium levels, I believe, are lower to keep them calm down, or higher. One or the other. I'm sorry. It's either to keep.
Can't be one or the other. You gotta be sure. So do we give this to the ones with low potassium levels, or do we give
Keeps
this
your
to
potassium levels from getting too low. Yes, ma'am. It keeps the salt. It keeps your salt from being too high.
Okay, so what does it do? Does it help increase potassium level, or does it decrease potassium level?
It increases.
It increases because these are given to hypokalemic patients. Again, don't confuse vitamin K with kalium, which is K potassium. Okay, that's how their chemical symbols came about. Okay, thank you. Sherlyn first before I show Raimi's slide. Sherlyn, you okay? While Sherlyn is getting ready, bless you. Okay, I want to mention about spironolactone. It is known as a water pill. It is a diuretic as well. Okay, but it falls under the group potassium sparing diuretic. Why? Most diuretics, your water pills, decrease potassium levels. Can you follow? Remember, water is best friends with salt, and potassium is a salt. Okay, so when you release that, the potassium and the sodium gets released too when you excrete that. So most diuretics decrease potassium levels. However, spironolactone is under the group potassium sparing diuretic. It spares your body from decreasing potassium. Okay, that's why it's used for increasing potassium levels. Okay, it's a general diuretics info. Sherlyn, are you getting ready? Can you hear me? It's the same. I think it happens to students who join Zoom using their phone or their tablet or their iPad. That's why Lawrence disappeared too a while ago. But we can
Is
see
it showing? Okay.
Perfect.
So I had the drug alendronate, and the brand is Fosamax. The generic is alendronate sodium. The pharmacological class is bisphosphonates, and the therapeutic class is calcium metabolism modifiers. The use is to treat and prevent osteoporosis. And the DEA class is a prescription only. The pregnancy class is X, and it's recommended to discontinue once pregnancy is recognized. The warnings are: do not take with multivitamins with minerals, because this may interfere with the absorption of alendronate into the bloodstream. And do not take with food, because this can reduce its effectiveness. And some additional information I have is to take 30 minutes before eating. It's recommended to take in the morning. Do not take with coffee, juice, or mineral water. It should be taken with plain water only. And some side effects are hypersensitivity, hypocalcemia, the inability to sit or stand up right 30 minutes after taking, and it can also cause nausea, constipation, diarrhea, headache, and musculoskeletal pain.
Very good. Do you remember who presented another dronate?
Was it Nicole?
No.
No.
It was Boniva. Remember? Boniva, generic ibandronate. I said it's ibandronic acid on her slide, and I said it's ibandronate. So here comes the dronate suffix. Look at your ebook. Dronate, bisphosphonate, or others call it biphosphonate, bisphosphonate, osteoporosis. You see the puzzle pieces? Can you see them now? Okay.
Yes.
Dronate, look at the generic. Boniva has a generic of ibandronate. This one, Fosamax, alendronate. Yeah? Once you hear dronate, bisphosphonates. And what are bisphosphonates for? Osteoporosis. You see? Okay, it's gonna click more and more and more as we do this, okay? But right now I'm showing you where to look and what to look for. Okay, good job. Next one. I'm gonna share my screen. Oops.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Make sure you guys have uploaded this, though the upload time is already done. While I'm pulling up my screen, I want to remind you that drug words and abbreviation test is going to be tomorrow. It opens from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., 45 minutes each. You don't have to take drug words first over abbreviation. It's independent of each other, but know that access closes at 2 p.m., okay, and opens as early as 7 a.m. our time, Pacific time, okay? 20 questions for drug words, 10 questions for abbreviation, spelling counts, capitalization counts, punctuation counts. Okay, your turn, Rami.
Okay, so my drug was triamcinolone, and that's the generic name. It could come under the brand name of Aristocort or Asmacort. The pharmacology class is a corticosteroid or a synthetic glucocorticoid. So basically that means it can kind of mimic or kind of bounce off of the glucocorticoids in your own body. And it's also a systemic drug as well. So it's available nasal, ophthalmic, which basically means like in your mouth for like mouth ulcers or atopic. So if you have any kind of inflammation on your skin or in your mouth, it's available those options to treat that as well. So it treats inflammation relating to gout, allergies, arthritis, dermatosis, and ulcerative lesions resulting from trauma. The DEA class is available over the counter. However, you could also get a prescription from your doctor. The pregnancy class is C, meaning that you can't rule out the risk of it affecting the fetus. And the warnings are do not take the drug if you have a fungal infection in your body. It can result in internal swelling. This drug could also interfere with other steroids and weaken your immune system. So that's kind of relating how it's back to the pregnancy class of C, so that you can't rule out the risk of it affecting the fetus.
Very good. Okay, so another ON. Did you see that? Corticosteroid, another ONE right there. Aristocort, Asthmacort. Okay. Shouldn't show the one for asthma, but that brand specifically for asthma. Okay. Asthma can be triggered by allergies. Okay. And there's going to be inflammation. Okay. During asthma, during allergies. I wanted to point out what she said right here. Do not take this drug if you have fungal infection in your body. Bacteria is to antibacterial. Virus is to antiviral. Fungus is to antifungal. Okay? You cannot use an antifungal to treat a virus. You're not supposed to be treating virus with antibiotics because antibiotics are for bacteria. Can you follow? Okay, so if you have the flu, you should be taking an antiviral, not an antibiotic, unless you have infection caused by bacteria together with a viral infection. Can you follow? That's why we always say most viral infection, we just let it run its course. Okay? Until, a preventive way of doing it is to get the vaccine or immunization. But usually if we don't have antivirals for it, we let it run its course. Okay? We don't treat virus with antibiotics. Antibiotics are for bacteria. Is that clear? Triamcinolone, okay, corticosteroid, okay? In general, anti-inflammatory. Any questions? No questions? I'd release you so you have some time to breathe and have a break. I'll see the freshmen at 1:30 for your orientation. We'll try to make it fast because you've already seen how it is, but it is important for me to interview some of you. Okay, Paolo, I have interviewed. Noah, I have interviewed. I don't think I interviewed Sherlyn or Lawrence. Raimi, I have interviewed. And that's it. There is a conference happening all week, and I'm going to send you an email about that. There are certain topics I wanted you to watch from that conference. It's a free conference for current students and recent graduates. So you know the outlook, what you're getting into, more jobs for pharmacy technicians. What are the other fields? This is brought to us by NPTA, and I've partnered with them. Even if I passed up on being a speaker, they let me have access to it for my students. It's live happening right now, and I'm gonna join them for a few, maybe less than an hour, and then back to you at 1:30, okay? I'll see you guys at 1:30, only the freshmen. Enjoy the rest of your day. Listen to audio lectures, test tomorrow, okay? Live on Wednesday at 10. Bye, guys.
Question for the community service, the lectures, were we supposed to just listen to the first two, or did you want us to do the next two also?
Customer service, the next two now.
Okay, no problem.
The next two, and then pharmacology, the next two tomorrow. Okay, cool.
I have a question. Do
Yes,
we have to
no.
wear our scrubs for the orientation too?
You don't have to wear scrubs for orientation.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, I'll see you guys at 1:30.